It's been quite a while. Um, the last video that I made, I believe, was for the, oh goodness, what was it? The Timonium Great Scale Model Railroad Show in Timonium, Maryland, where I went and participated in the LGMS layout there and got to run trains on the world famous HO layout of Howard Zane, which was quite a fun experience. But in the 8 months, almost 11, or I'm sorry, yeah, almost 9 months since then, probably closer to 9, I haven't posted any videos or anything, despite having been really busy and everything. So I'm a little bit sorry that I haven't been able to do that. I've had time to make videos, but just haven't done it, so I apologize. Obviously, this year has been crazy for everybody, nothing short of insane, I would say, myself included. And I know I'm not alone in saying that 2020 and the events within have affected me both directly and indirectly, but I'm very grateful to say that I've been able to do okay through all of those times and continue to be all right with everything that I do. And I really can't make any real complaints. I'm very grateful for that. Wherever you are, whoever's watching, I hope the years and times have been kind enough to you and those you hold close. Obviously, everybody is aware of the current global situation, and I know how greatly it affects everybody. So I very much hope that that you're able to stay strong and make it through everything. So keep going. I have been pretty busy this year in a lot of different things. Obviously, with my full-time job, of course, I work full-time, and that's taken a lot of effort. Especially more recently, I've been getting more busy with that as we head into the holiday season late this year. But I have also been able to build quite a few things this year, and I'm very excited about those projects. Unfortunately, I can't say that I have completed as many of those projects as I've started. So I've got a number of different locomotives and a number of different pieces of rolling stock in various stages of completion this year. But I aim to be getting those done, and obviously when I do finish those, I will be making videos and posting photos of them when the time is right. I've got several of them sitting behind the camera out of view, and I'm very happy that I was able to do all of that work, and I'm really very pleased with the directions that I was able to go this year as far as building things for my own personal collection. And a couple of other things beyond that, but some of those things I will make more videos on and post more photos about. Some of them I'll not do that, or at least not do that just yet. But regardless, I have been quite busy with Lego this year. Obviously, I've been doing plenty of work with Brickmania Railroader, just as usual. There have been times when I've been able to put a lot of effort into that, and there have been times when I've been able to not put as much effort into that, and that's not out of the ordinary though. So, but everything has been going pretty well on that front too. I guess the biggest thing, and really the main point of this video, is to I guess finally disclose the projects that I've been working on primarily for the bulk of this year for Brickmania. So to kind of backtrack for anyone who might not be aware, Brickmania is a custom Lego kit making company founded in 1999 by Daniel Siskind. This is their 21st year in business, and they've been doing some absolutely incredible things with custom Lego and aftermarket parts, kits, custom minifigure designs, custom military base models. Absolutely incredible work that they do at that company. in 2018, Kale and I were able to sort of work with them as part of Brickmania Railroader to make a 280 steam locomotive, an S160 type, and produce that and have that to be produced as a kit. And I believe I would definitely say that venture was successful. We weren't sure how it would go, and it turned out quite well, and we were all very happy with that. Later in 2019, during the year of 2019, the three of us, being myself, Kale, and Dan Siskind, we all talked off and on kind of about doing more trains under the Brickmania banner, and also talked about doing a more sort of consistent line of railroad products, which is obviously a very exciting idea. And so just this past week, it was finally kind of came to a head, and everything has been put up for sale on the Brickmania website. All of the products that, or almost all of the products that we have developed for that, and it's been very exciting. So I'm recording. They were the first sort of run of or batch of products were put up last Friday on November 20th. I'm recording this the following Sunday on the 22nd. But it's been quite an exciting time to get up to that. So we met in late 2019, actually, at the Cantini Park Train Show, which is when I made a vlog of that, of course, and when I delivered the San Diego and Arizona to my customer. That was a whole lot of fun in its own right, but we were also able, Kale and I were also able to sit down and have a good discussion with Dan about the possibility of doing more railroad kits with Brickmania. I actually put together a list, like a full paper-clipped list of different options that we could do. And we talked through a number of those, and we basically ended up deciding on a locomotive and a matching caboose and a couple different freight cars, which is really cool, because to bring all that back at one time is surely no small effort, especially in kit form. So there were a number of things that we brought up as options that we could do for this first sort of bit of the Brickmania Railroad product line. And so we ended up going with, basically Dan told us that we could just about do whatever we want, and it would go with it. So I was, in looking at different locomotives and cars that we put together, I kind of looked at different size locomotives and ones that were both similar and very different to the S160, because one of the ideas behind it was that we could probably want to do something that was much visually different than the S160. We didn't want to do two of the same things kind of close enough together, if you will. So one of the engines that I was the most excited about that I had put on that list was a New York Central 482 that, if you're already familiar, has been what we all went with. So Kale and I decided that I would take up the reins on the locomotive, and also on one of the pieces of rolling stock that are going to be offered, are going to be offered this year. And we'll see how they do, and we'll work on it from there, and hopefully grow to expand this. But yeah, I've got my own prototype of the Mohawk here. It's a New York Central 482 L2A class locomotive. The New York Central called the 482s the Mohawks on their just in their own nomenclature. 1920s, mid-1920s product of the American Locomotive Company. One of the classic New York Central freight locomotives, I believe. It certainly is. A really nice locomotive. There were a couple times that so I started building and modeling that in January of 2020, to give you a sense of how long this has been going on. And there were a couple times during that project I made a couple of design decisions initially that I really was adamant about and did not want to waver on. But as I progressed in the project of modeling the Mohawk, I came to realize that those design decisions were really doing more harm than good. I wasn't able to achieve the goals that I wanted out of the performance, the looks, and the capabilities of the Mohawk than I was doing I was able to by making those original design decisions. So at one point, I essentially scrapped the entire project and started over. And even after that point, there was a good period of time where I was extremely dissatisfied with the way things were going, and almost considered switching something entirely. But obviously I didn't, and I'm glad that I didn't. This has been quite a fun project. I've really been able to have a new love for the New York Central, and particularly the L2A. It's one of my favorite New York Central engines, and I'm very glad that it's worked out that I could model that for this project. I'll go into more detail about the Mohawk in a separate video. I would like to do a more formal review video like I've done for the my number 13 280 and for the San Diego and Arizona locomotive that I did. I'll go into the detail of my own personal model that I have here, which is close but does not exactly reflect the product that Brickmania is producing. There are a number of changes in parts and a few design changes that were deemed necessary to make it much easier to produce as a kit, which is fine with me. All of those things I entered this project knowing that would just kind of come with the territory, if you will. So not a problem with me, but it does differentiate my own personal model a bit from the what's being produced as a kit. There are a couple of other things, modifications that I'm going to make with this locomotive to further differentiate it and make it more unique in my own. What you see here is more closely representative of the Brickmania product. There are a couple of mostly aesthetic changes that I'm going to make that will set it apart more, but I'll cover that more in a different video. Most likely just the review video that I make, or the showcase video. And there's a good, before I move on, there's a good, one of the other products that are being introduced this time at this time are a matching New York Central caboose. This is modeled by Kale. He did an absolutely fantastic job on this. It's a wonderful New York Central 24-foot cupola caboose. Absolutely really neat model. We opted not to, we both agreed to not go for the, I guess, more classic New York Central, what's they call it, a gun turret cupola caboose, which is a square and very short cupola. We wanted something that looked a little bit different, just for the sake of, being different. And so we found this prototype that was owned by the New York Central after acquiring one of its other subsidiaries, and we very much like it, the both of us. And so we decided on this model to accompany the Mohawk. And lastly, I have a 40-foot boxcar. This is a USRA 40-foot rebuilt steel boxcar. All of these made, of course, with using original drawings and diagrams and as much accurate information as I could find. This was a really fun car to make. I basically built it around the doors. The doors were the hardest part, and I have Kale to thank for allowing me to use a proof of concept that he came up with some time ago, and then adapting it to fit this car. I'll probably go on more in detail with this in another video. I've been building a number of rolling stock pieces this year, both similar and different to this, and I would like to showcase those probably all together in one video. So I'll go into more detail about that later. All of these products will have printing on them. What you're seeing here is is not finalized. I obviously don't have connecting rods in my locomotive. I'll be using Brickmania parts that I designed, and then they went on to perfect for operation for that. And all of these will have the printed elements from Brickmania for instead of decals, which is very exciting and a really cool thing. One topic that I did want to talk about in this video, hopefully very briefly, is just something that is would make me feel better to discuss and just have the air cleared on it. So I am, obviously these models, are going to be products and produced and sold commercially. And I am responsible for building and designing some of them. As a designer, I am going to be compensated for that, which I believe is fair. And I'm sure that I don't see why it wouldn't be fair for me to be compensated for work that I've done. But there comes a topic that I feel very strongly about, which is self-advertising. I very much dislike feeling like I'm self-advertising. I don't enjoy seeing it done by other people in public forums, like different online groups and forum websites. I'm not here to call anybody out. It's just something that I don't enjoy seeing. And I hate feeling like I'm doing that. But this is kind of a gray area because I've developed these models primarily, in part, mostly for me, but also to fit the bill or to be put into production by Brickmania. And Brickmania is not paying me to advertise. I'm not by showcasing my work, I'm not intending to advertise for Brickmania. I understand that a lot of this can come across as doing that, but I want to set the record straight that is not at all what I'm trying to do. When I talk about my Mohawk, the boxcar, and in the future, I guess whatever other products that are made, or even the ones that I've made from Brick Model Railroader, by that means, it's not, and never has been, won't be, and never will be intended as to come across as self-advertising. I'm not trying to say, hey, you should go check this out and purchase that. I think that would be wrong. I think people are free to make their own decisions. And I'm not trying to persuade anybody one way or the other. So any posting or sharing of this is intended to be strictly for personal showcase and sharing of my own work rather than advertising. That's basically it. And I intend to do all of that through my own channels anyways, instead of, and try to limit, even though I'm not trying to self-advertise, I do intend to limit the sharing that I do to personal channels, like different social medias, my Flickr account, and the like. So just setting the record straight, that's all I really have to say about it. But just something that I wanted to get off my chest anyways, so I appreciate you for listening. That's all that I really have to talk about in this video. Like I said, I will be making other videos, both on the Mohawk and the different freight cars that I have, including my box car. I have, let's see if I can count them on hand. I have a new two different kind of box cars that I've made this year. I've done a reworked model of my tank car. I've made a gondola. I've built 2 copies of that, and I've also built a couple of Kale's refrigerator cars, the 40-foot refrigerator cars that he designed for Brick Model Railroader. I love what he did with that car, and I built a couple of them, and I'm really happy with them. So I'll be making videos on those, of course. I'll look at the caboose in that time as well. And there are a couple of different locomotives that I've been working on besides the Mohawk this year that are very close to being complete. I hope to complete them sooner rather than later so I can publish them and begin to enjoy them. But they're not quite there yet, so I won't be publishing very many photos of that until they are. That's basically it. I'm very much looking forward to doing more like what I've done here with the Mohawk, and both for Brickmania and for Brick Model Railroader. Being able to do things like this is very incredible, and I'm very grateful for the opportunities that have been provided to me in the Lego train hobby. I'm very grateful for being able to do all this. That's really all that I have. Thank you very much for watching, and again, please stay safe, continue to be healthy, and hopefully we will all get through everything together and be able to move on from there. Again, thank you for watching, and I'll leave it there. Bye.